The knock at the door sounded for the third time. Amanda, who had been peacefully sleeping, jolted up from the bed. She turned her eyes to the side. GJ was still lying there, appearing to be in deep sleep. Amanda smiled faintly as the memory of the previous night rushed into her mind. She had enjoyed every moment of the warm, passionate love they shared. For her, it was worth it. Love without sacrifice was meaningless, and her sacrifice was her pride. Yet, her smile quickly faded. She remembered her mother's words before leaving the village. 2 strict rules: trust no one, and stay away from premarital sex. Amanda sighed and prayed nothing disastrous would come out of her decision. The knock came again, this time sharper. She dragged herself to the door and unbuckled it. Behind the door stood Mark, holding a brown envelope. His face was cold, the same stern expression he had carried since childhood. Mark asked her about her boyfriend, and she responded softly that he was still sleeping. She kept her eyes on the floor, clearly avoiding his gaze. Mark stretched the envelope towards her and said she should give it to GJ when he wakes up. She took it from him, then he turned to leave. However, after a few steps, she quietly called his name. He turned back with his face asking her silently to speak. Amanda apologized for the previous night. She said she had not planned for things to happen that way. Her head remained bowed as she spoke. Mark walked closer, gently lifted her chin, and locked eyes with her. Sparks of emotion filled the air, but both knew they could not be together. He told her she did not need to apologize. What happened last night was only a fraction of what he had suffered in that house since childhood. His father had disowned him, but he had long prepared himself for a day like this when he would leave and never return. He told her not to blame herself and also urged her to stay happy. With tears in his eyes, he said goodbye. Tears showed up at Amanda's eyes as well. She felt emptiness swelling within her as he released her chin and walked away. She whispered more to herself that she would miss him dearly. She, however, returned to the room and dropped the envelope. Stood with hands on her waist, staring at GJ, who still seemed fast asleep. After a while, she went into the bathroom, and minutes later, she came back. GJ remained in the same position. Amanda checked the clock. It was 7:25 a.m. She shrugged and thought to herself that maybe he was the type who woke up late, around 10. She then sat at the edge of the bed and scrolled through her phone. 20 minutes later, there came another knock. This time it was a maid announcing that breakfast was ready at the dining table. Amanda nodded in response. After the maid left, she decided to wake GJ for breakfast. She touched his leg and softly called his name. There was no reaction. She tapped harder, still nothing. A wave of concern hit her. She placed her palm on his forehead, and that was when she froze in shock. His skin was cold and his body was stiff. Amanda shook him frantically with fear as she screamed out for help. At the sound of her voice, Gregory, GJ's father, rushed into the room to know why she was screaming. Amanda cried that she did not know what was wrong with GJ. Just then, Amarachi, GJ's mother, entered. She hurried to the bedside and felt his pulse. Her mouth dropped open in horror. She shook him violently as she cried for her son to wake up. Gregory grabbed his son's hand to feel for himself. Reality struck him hard. His beloved son was gone. He turned to Amanda and angrily asked what happened to him. Amarachi's grief, on the other hand, turned to fury. Then, in a fit of rage, she slapped Amanda across the face. Amanda fell to the floor, but Amarachi did not stop. She climbed on her, raining down slaps and punches, accusing her of murder. By then, a doggo, the youngest in the family, entered the room with 2 maids. Their gasps filled the air. Gregory shouted in disbelief, crying out that his son could not just die like that. With trembling hands, he dialed emergency numbers. Moments later, the piercing sirens of an ambulance and the heavy boots of policemen filled the compound. Amanda was handcuffed and forced into the police van. The door slammed and her cries echoed. Had it been she would have listened to her mother. I know you are probably confused about how we got here. Do not worry, the next episode will take us back to where the story began. All you need to do is to subscribe or follow so you won't miss any episode. Cheers!